Thrive, we're back. Thanks for joining us again, guys. We're going to talk to you today about one of the common errors that we see in the gym, how to really correct that, and how to assess, are you ready? So we're talking about the deadlift, and we get a little bit particular about that because we see that that is just a common mechanism for injury, and there's this myth around the exercise that if you deadlift, you're going to hurt your back. The reality is that if you deadlift wrong, you're going to hurt your back. If you deadlift the right way, you're going to build a better back, you're going to build better strength and power through your entire body. So the deadlift that we're talking about is when we have a barbell on the floor and we're picking this up from the floor. And this seems like kind of a just abstract exercise, but if you're a parent or you're somebody who does a lot of bending and lifting, this is a very normal position that we're going to get in through the day, having to bend over and hinge at our waist to pick something up. So the first thing we want to do before we deadlift is we want to make sure that you have the normal range of motion that you should have so that you can bend over and pick something up without injuring your back. And the best way to do that is with two tests. One is in standing and one is in sitting. The standing test is really simple. If we get ourselves organized, tighten our abs, get our feet about hip width apart, I should be able to fold myself in half and keep my back flat, where my trunk, my upper body, is parallel to the ground. If I'm short of that, if I'm up here or I'm round to get to that position, then I'm probably tight through the back of my hip, or I haven't engaged my midsection enough to keep my spine stable. Now the other way that we can look at this is on the floor. And this is just a basic, what we call long sit test. So I should be able to sit with my legs straight, toes up. My shoulders should be right over my hips. Again, my back should be in a neutral position. I shouldn't be rounded in this position. I should be able to get myself up into this neutral position, extend my arms, and keep everything engaged through my midsection. So that's the prerequisite range of motion and motor control that we need. The lift is very much the same. What we want to see here, if you come around to the side, is that when we get ready to lift, we want to get the bar as close to us as we can. And this applies to anything that you lift. When we teach good lifting mechanics, it's the same thing. The closer this object is to my body, the less I have to bend over, the less I have to test my end range of motion. So I'm going to get this bar right in front of my shins, brace when I start at the top here, make sure I'm engaged through my midsection, let my knees unlock, and then hinge and get my arms on the bar here. Now what we see, if somebody doesn't have range of motion to do this, is they compromise, they round their back, grab the bar, and then they pull themselves into what looks like a flat back position. When in reality what you've done, if I hold this position and stand up, I'm overextended. So I'm hanging on the vertebrae in my spine right now to create stability, instead of bracing my spine with the muscles around my midsection. And that's a big difference. So if I get in this position here and I'm round, instead of trying to pull myself flat and overextending, what I want you to do is what we call a knees forward setup. So if I bend and I feel that limit, I don't have any more range of motion, what I want to do here is, instead of rounding my back, I want to squat. This is what we call knees forward. So my knees are going to come forward. That allows me to get my arms to the bar and keep my trunk organized. Once I get the bar, I'm going to grab the bar, try to bend the bar, pull my shoulders back, then push my hips back to load my hips and hamstrings, and then drive through my feet and stand up. So what we want you guys to focus on today first, assess yourselves, make sure you've got that normal range of motion in standing, that you can fold yourself in half and keep your back flat, get in that long sitting position, make sure you've got that normal range of motion that you should have. Take a video or have somebody watch you and make sure that when you bend over to pick up the bar, you can still keep that flat back position. If you're not doing that, you're overloading your back, and it's just a matter of when, not if, you're going to injure your back. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll talk to you again soon.
My quick hello from the Restore Thrive baby girl. Hi, Evelyn.